Does anyone remember the box office flop Flushed Away? If you don't, it's a movie about a rat that gets flushed down a toilet and discovers a secret underground city. Reminds me of my prom night. I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I do have a soft spot for it to this day. In fact, it's my favorite DreamWorks and Aardman movie. Even though it was a classic, there was one altered scene that I cannot shake from my mind. I was on holiday in Rockhampton. I told my mom and her friend that I'd have a look at a place called Sanity. There I looked for a Pokemon XY DVD, but to no avail. There simply weren't any. I looked through the regular old kids' DVDs, and when I looked in the F lineup, I found a CD case. I picked it up. It was a flushed away DVD with a deleted draft of one of the scenes. Talk about limited edition. This must have been a rarity. I went up to the woman at the counter and placed on the table to remind her that I could get my wallet from my mum. I found her and asked for the wallet, and she gave it to me and went back to Sanity. So far, nothing unusual. The woman said the DVD was only $13. $13? Wasn't that the unlucky number? Nah, I have no time for superstitions. I had a movie to watch about a rat that got flushed down a toilet and found a secret underground city. I got my mum's cash out, and I paid for it. I really should have gotten a job. Days later, I came back from Rockhampton. Home sweet home. Decided to test out the new DVD I discovered at Sanity. Yeah, I could tell you all the details about setting up my DVD player, taking out the coax cables, but I don't think you need to know all about that. Let me tell you the stuff you do need to know about. The DVD opened up with the DreamWorks Home Entertainment logo, the classic nostalgic logo that belongs in the hearts of so many of us from our childhood. And then it took me to the menu. A menu consisting of the main characters racing on beaters, while the music was where Roddy finds himself in Ratropolis. There was only one menu button, and it was Play Deleted Scene. I was disappointed that there was one button, but I thought I'd watch it. I decided to press play, and right before the deleted scene started, a warning came up. A warning? Okay, this was the first moment in which I thought something might even be off. This deleted scene of Flushed Away has been changed and almost ruined Aardman's reputation. DreamWorks had to change a couple of things in this scene to make it less disturbing. In fact, the following deleted scene you're about to see is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, what the hell? That was weird. I've seen disturbing deleted drafts of Pixar films, but now I was seeing a deleted draft of a DreamWorks movie? Plus, why was this publicly available? I mean, come on. Wouldn't they want to destroy it or something? Set it on fire? Smash it with a hammer? I don't know. Feed it to Rosie O'Donnell? However, I decided to see what it looked like anyway. She probably eats rats. The scene started with Roddy sleeping in his cage. Just then he heard something rattling or a bang sound from the kitchen. This woke up Roddy. What was that? Roddy asked himself in fear. When it showed a shot of the entirety of his cage, faint, sinister laughter could be heard. Roddy asked again, "Who's there?" Roddy then got out and went to one of his doll friends, which was a soldier doll. "Wake up! I think there's someone in the house." The doll didn't respond or move, as it was inanimate. Roddy then came into the kitchen, wearing a Vikings helmet with the soldier doll. At this point, I wondered if it was a crossover with Flava Flav. The soldier doll then kept talking through its voice box. Roddy tried to shut it up, but later pulled its battery out. Roddy got up onto the kitchen bench, shining his torch all over the kitchen, when suddenly he heard rumbling and rattling from the kitchen sink. He watched in horror, as if it was going to be a human head popping out. If he got flushed down a toilet and found a secret underground city, I guess that's not all that unusual. That's probably where the mafia dumps the bodies. Just then, a mysterious, chunky figure emerged, flying out of the sink, yelling, "Yee-haw!" Disappeared into nowhere. Instead of sewer water, there was red water, as if it was blood. After seeing that mysterious figure, Roddy looked around again. He later heard sinister laughter echoing throughout the house. Roddy got more nervous and he hid behind a cereal box. When he shone his torch on the box, there was a picture depicting a monster covered in chocolate. Roddy let out a gasp, but then sighed in relief when he realized it was only a picture. Roddy then went to pick up his torch. As that happened... Oh, man. Where do I start? 2 arms then poked out of a cake? It wasn't chocolate. It was more of a red velvet one instead. The cake figure then started walking toward Roddy as the latter struggled to fix his torch. The music had a much more ominous and horror-like feel as the figure started walking toward Roddy in the ambience. The red velvet cake around the figure made this scene much more unnerving. And once the head of the figure fell off, Roddy heard this. Once he turned around, he screamed. However, his scream wasn't very cartoon-sounding. It sounded as if Hugh Jackman sounded really scared. And trust me, he played Wolverine. The thought of Wolverine being scared, now that's something else. The red velvet cake monster suddenly let out a long belch in Roddy's face, and the crumbs started to fly off and onto Roddy. It would actually be Sid. Not Sid from Toy Story, but one of the characters from this film. The belch was so powerful it knocked Roddy backward behind a plate of sausages, with the red velvet crumb still on him. After the long belt, Sid then ate a crumb that was stuck on his hand. Man, this was gross. He said his line from the final film, "They do not, repeat not, have food like this in the sewer." How the hell was I supposed to know that? Roddy then noticed the red velvet crumbs on his tuxedo. He started hyperventilating, staring at it. Is that blood? Roddy asked in horror. "No, mate, it's just red velvet cake. It looked like flesh, but it's actually edible," Sid replied. Roddy sighed in relief again. "By the way, I'm a sewer rat," Sid remarked. "A sewer rat?" Roddy asked. He stuttered, trying to say something. "How did you get there?" It then showed a final shot from the film with Sid putting his arm around Roddy, holding a fish. The deleted scene then ended once Sid finished telling Roddy how he got into Roddy's house. I was both scared and confused at the same time. What was DreamWorks or Aardman even thinking while making this? You know, I thought of uploading this to YouTube since it had no realistic blood, but just red velvet cake crumbs. In fact, after posting it to YouTube, I got a lot of views. Even comments from people who were familiar with Flushed Away. Even though it wasn't too scary, I just decided to lock the DVD somewhere so no one could find it. And plus, that way, I wouldn't get blamed by DreamWorks and get sued. My mom asked me what I'd do with the DVD. I showed her the footage, and rest assured, she freaked out. Then again, she's a Southern Baptist, and they're known to be very conservative about this shit. DreamWorks makes great movies now and then, but you never know what deleted scenes they have up their sleeves. In fact, I never ate red velvet cake ever again after seeing what I saw. And while I'm at it, you know what? Just please stay away from lost DVDs with deleted scenes, because you never know if you might find something that'll make you lose your lunch, if not your dinner, and the previous day's breakfast.